The push to arrest and deport millions of people from the United States has hit a little bit of a snag. Apparently, they cannot find and arrest and deport that many people. Okay, according to numbers from the Nonpartisan Transactional Records Access Clearinghouse, or TRAC, ICE, which has a quota of 3,000 arrests a day, is well, they're hitting far below that number. They gotta pump them numbers up. Oh, okay, fun times. But not actually. Now they only managed to book an average of 990 arrests a day from July 1st to July 27th. That's actually a pretty big 19% decrease from the daily rate of 1,224 arrests recorded in June. So actually, their numbers went down. Ouch. That is despite the fact that racist Nosferatu himself, Stephen Miller, had previously threatened to fire ICE field office leaders who weren't arresting enough people. Oops. Now, what's funny is that I have had people argue that, oh, you know what, they don't have a quota. You're making that up. Fake news. That's despite the fact that Stephen Miller has explicitly told Fox News viewers, Sean Hannity, that there was a quota.
So you and Kristi Noem are pushing for 3,000 a day, but you're also going to fortify ICE. And the one big beautiful bill, my understanding is with at least $147 billion more for them to accomplish that goal.
Under President Trump's leadership, we are looking to set a goal of a minimum of 3,000 arrests for ICE every day, and President Trump is going to keep pushing to get that number up higher each and every single day.
Quota? Yeah, no, it's not a quota, it's a goal. It's a goal. It's completely different. Splitting hairs mighty thin, aren't you? Now, look, of course, the reason that they're saying this now, that there is no quota, and now that, all the MAGA people online are repeating it, is because a Trump attorney has been forced to walk it back. Oops. In late July, a federal judge asked Department of Justice Attorney Yakov Roth whether ICE was under pressure to meet an arrest quota, and that if that meant that people were being rounded up based on race or ethnicity to hit them numbers, which of course would be racial profiling. That's illegal. In July, a district court ordered ICE to stop doing their illegal profiling in the LA area, and an appeals court had upheld that order this week. And so as a result of that, the DOJ is saying, quota? What quota? We don't have a quota. No. That's not a quota. We don't do those. Oh, really? It's kind of like cops saying, oh, we don't have a quota. We all damn well sure know that you have a quota. So shut up and quit lying to us, okay? But here's what the DOJ attorney wrote, according to Politico. DHS has confirmed that neither ICE leadership nor its field offices have been directed to meet any numerical quota or target for arrests, detentions, removals, field encounters, or any other operational activities that ICE or its components undertake in the course of enforcing federal immigration law. But here's the thing, though. They're absolutely doing quotas and are doing racial profiling to meet that quota, whether or not they had actually admit it. As Tom Homan had described it, ICE and Border Patrol are detaining people based on the location, their occupation, their physical appearance, whether or not they look Latino, their actions, like if a person walks away. This is according to a Wall Street Journal report. Look, here's a situation that happened in LA. This is according to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. They said Vasquez Perdomo and Orsoto sat on the bench, and Villegas Molina stood next to them. Suddenly, 4 unmarked cars pulled up and surrounded them. The cars were large and black and with tinted windows and had no license plates. The doors opened, and men in masks with guns started running at them aggressively. One of the men had a large military-style gun. The masked men wore regular clothes. They had no visible badges, and they did not identify themselves. Vasquez Perdomo, Orsoto, and Villegas Molina were afraid that they were being kidnapped, which in that situation Yeah, that's kind of what it would look like, wouldn't it? They tried to move away, but were immediately surrounded by several men with guns. They grabbed them, put his hands behind his back, handcuffed him. Then one of the men asked for identification. Vasquez Perdomo said in English, "I have the right to remain silent." Orsoto did not know the men were government agents. Terrified, he tried to run. The men yelled stop, but did not identify themselves as law enforcement officers. Soon, one of the men caught up to Orsoto, pointed a taser over his heart, which could kill him, and yelled, "Stop or I'll use it." Orsoto stopped immediately, and the man handcuffed him. The unidentified masked and armed men put Vasquez, Perdomo, Orsoto, and Villegas Molina into separate cars and drove them to a parking lot where they interrogated them further. Eventually, the men chained each plaintiff at the hands, waist, and feet, and took them to a Los Angeles detention center. They had never identified themselves to the plaintiffs. When I say that these men are the Gestapo, that's what I mean. That's what the Gestapo did. And they're not getting the worst of the worst. They're getting U.S. citizens, people going to work, and people without criminal history. In fact, ICE has admitted that the profiling was less than 10% accurate. That's right. All of their profiling, all the profiling they do, less than 10% accurate. They also claim that their encounters with potentially undocumented workers at places of employment are consensual. But let me ask you, if the following scenario sounds at all consensual. Workers who try to leave are threatened or tackled. One landscaper, accosted by Border Patrol outside of an IHOP, was pepper sprayed, tackled, and beaten after refusing to answer their questions and had tried to walk away. This is according to the DHS themselves. They put this out. I mean, they're proud of this. They're proud of what they're doing. They're like, oh, yeah, we beat the crap out of a guy because he walked away because he looked the part. And you want to, and you're telling us that they are the criminals, that the immigrants are the criminals? Really? The man was the father of 3 U.S. Marines and had no criminal history whatsoever. Another landscaper was tackled inside a California surgical center during one of ICE's roving patrols, which sounds like a roving gang. It's exactly what they are. They are a gang. The man was identified as illegal after his arrest, but had no criminal history. As most of those arrested have been. They have not had criminal histories at all. You can see from that graph right there, ICE arresting thousands of Latinos with absolutely no criminal history in random locations in June. No criminal convictions, charges, or removal orders. They're just profiling random Latino people. There's more. 1 in 5 ICE arrests is a Latino on the streets with absolutely no criminal history. And you can see the numbers massively up in June. And yet, you got propagandists like Department of Homeland Security Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin saying this, quote, despite a historic number of injunctions, including the temporary restraining order in Los Angeles, ICE continues to arrest the worst of the worst. From gang members and terrorists to pedophiles. Every day, ICE is removing these barbaric, criminal, illegal aliens from American communities. It's funny that you mentioned pedophiles because we may have one in the White House right now. And he's running around freely. He may end up pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell. And his wife might also have stayed here illegally in the country. Hey, ICE. I mean, you have the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever. Might even help you pump up those pathetic numbers by just a little bit. And actually go after a real criminal. Oh, whoa. Because it's obvious that you were trying and struggling and failing to keep Trump's bullshit campaign promises. Look, the reality is the vast majority of undocumented immigrants are not criminals. They're not rapists. They're not anything like that. They deserve due process. They deserve a pathway to citizenship. Not to be arrested, not to be thrown into Alligator, Alcatraz, or any of your other concentration camps that Miller and his Nazi friends are trying to set up with our tax money. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe with the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.